Hey, for a change, I'm not out here filming the police. I'm out here filming the lawyers and the judges.
This is Susan Bassey, and this week our reporting will focus entirely on private judges and the divorce attorneys who send them business. We'll be covering the first known lawsuit brought against a divorce attorney who pressured his client to hire private judge Michael Smith, claiming that private judging would be cheaper, faster, and more confidential than using public courts to settle a divorce. Now, 9 years later, after divorce attorney Mark Erickson convinced his client to hire private judge Michael Smith, Erickson is the defendant in a malpractice and fraud lawsuit. His former client is asking a jury to award him $5 million for the harm Erickson and the private judge allegedly caused during his divorce. And this video shows what it looks like when we went to the private judge's offices to get records related to that divorce.
I'm waiting for the police. Did you call them off? Because I'm waiting for them. I'm happy to talk to them. You, sir, are closing an area that has been noticed as a public courthouse during business hours. Thank you for not locking the door.
Please leave.
Are you telling me to leave an area that is noticed as a public judge office?
Yep.
Okay. I'll wait right here. Should we wait here for the police or out on the street? Okay, so when I was at the courthouse on June 3rd, I ran into a woman who was telling me that she was in private judging. And she said she had seen my videos, but she was excited because she knew that I'd been talking about these private judges not being on a list. And so she and I went and we checked, and her private judge and her case were on the list. So we thought that everything was gonna be good because we had transparency with that. So then I got her appointment order for Judge Michael Smith. And in this appointment order, what happens is two people agree that they can use a private attorney to be their judge. They agreed to pay $600 an hour to him. And when he signed that he took his oath and said that he would be a judge, he would follow the Constitution and all the laws, which he signed at this address, located right here. That made this become a public courthouse. So the law says that we're entitled to get into that courthouse and we're entitled to see the records related to this case. And in this case, I saw in the public file that there were filings that he was paying himself out of cryptocurrency. He literally made them cash in a cryptocurrency account. He took the woman who was on a fee waiver, meaning she was indigent. She had lost her attorney, and he cashed in a cryptocurrency account to pay his fees, leaving them with the tax liability for that. So this right here, when he took his oath, he signed that he would swear to uphold the Constitution of the United States and all laws, state and federal rules. That includes giving me access to records in that case, and he didn't do it. And just now, you can see what happened when at 2 o'clock on a Monday afternoon, we tried to access this building. I had also done a public records request, which was denied. And we also noticed that on this appointment order, that a Judge Adams signed the appointment order because when two parties agree that an attorney can be privately paid to be a judge, you need a public elected judge to sign off. And we started to notice there is this Judge Adams signing off on these orders for cases that are not before him. This case was assigned to Judge Cindy Hendrickson. But Judge Adams signed the order, and he signed it a month before Michael Smith agreed to do everything. So you tell me in the public court file why there is a private judge getting paid $600 an hour with offices I can't access, no records that the law says I can access, and he signs his order in April of 2021, and a public court judge approves the order a month earlier. There are all kinds of irregularities. There are issues with Michael Smith reportedly covering up cash and gold coin issues with other attorneys. And what we're finding is that Silicon Valley people who are very wealthy can hire an attorney to play judge and get them out of committing crimes. That's what it's starting to appear like. And it also appears They're not noticing the hearings that they're conducting. There's no public notice of that, so I can't get the transcript. I can't listen to the hearing. And the attorneys tell you that this will be private. The law says it's not private. And so that's where we are right now. We have done everything to get access, and it appears that Silicon Valley, over the last 10 years, has privatized the family courts.
Once a divorce attorney convinces a client to hire and pay another attorney to act as a private judge in their case, that private judge gains the full power and legal immunity of a public court judge. In other words, you can't successfully sue a private judge, even if that private judge steals your money, commits crimes with your divorce attorney, and violates your due process rights during your divorce case. However, you can sue a divorce attorney who tricks you into hiring a private judge by claiming that your divorce will be cheaper, faster, and more confidential than going through public court.
Here we go.
Private Judge Michael Smith's office staff and the divorce attorneys who sent him a great deal of business as a private judge called the police on us when we lawfully tried to access public records that we were entitled to see. And when the police and the legal system respond to public access the way that happened on this day, it has our attention, and it also got us investigating the divorce attorneys that were sending the business to Michael Smith.
Good. Did you get a call?
We did.
What was the call about?
About a male and female refusing to leave the property, I guess. What's going on?
So I'm going to want to file a report if there was a false police report made.
Okay. Can you just tell me your side of the story?
I sure can.
Okay.
I'm a reporter, and I have the court files with me, so I can show them to you, filed documents.
Okay.
And this is about Michael Smith, and he is a private judge.
Okay.
Do you know what a private judge is?
No.
Private judge is an attorney who does the job of a judge.
Okay.
They have full immunity. They can make orders. They could get me arrested with an order. They could do search warrants. They could do anything because they have this power.
Okay.
And so this building, and I'll show you the filed documents if you want to see them, this address right here is noticed as a public courthouse.
Okay.
So the rules of court 2.400 say that I have a right to go into there and look at all the case files that they have in front of them. Michael Smith has a lot of cases, and their hearings are not being publicly noticed. So imagine you get called to court to testify, and there's no notice of a hearing. You wouldn't know where to go. You wouldn't know what to do. So as a member of the press, I'm entitled to be able to hear hearings that are publicly noticed. So just because somebody's paying him doesn't mean that they, don't get to, that I don't get to be there. So I emailed him 2 weeks ago and said that I'm coming in for the records. I emailed him again another time. Today we found out, I have had people tell me that they have been instructed by a paralegal by the name of Margie Russo to come and sign documents related to a CLETS DVRO order here. And so that means that he is signing CLETS orders, and I don't know how a private judge in a law office is able to get somebody put into the CLETS database. And so that's a quandary to me. I filed a complaint. I filed a media request. And the moment I filed a media request, he recused. He had issued orders to pay himself cryptocurrency, $22,000 worth of fees. And this became a public courthouse the moment he took his oath, the moment he signed this, and the moment this document was filed in the court. And so they kicked me out of there. They're not giving me access to it. I have every legal right. I'll give you the law. And they are technically committing a crime by locking the public and reporters out of that courthouse. So
basically you would just like access to the...
We would like
all these court
access.
cases.
That's right. We would like, you know what? Thank you for saying that. That's all we're about is access. And you guys have had to get used to people recording you in public.
Oh, absolutely.
As awful as it can be sometimes to have us recorded, I know what it feels like to be recorded. And these private judges and judges in general are not used to it. But the moment he started taking $600 an hour, then he became a public judge. I'm entitled to see what he's doing. I'm entitled to see, he's a public figure essentially. And he had a whole group of office mates locking me out and calling the police for me. And I don't know, was it a trespassing call? But whatever they're doing, we're going to have to pursue this because I believe there are crimes being committed in there if they're locking the public out of what should be a public courthouse.
Okay. And he's in there right now?
They told us he's not there. They have no files, that he conducts all his hearings via Zoom, which they're not noticed. There's nowhere that they're noticed.
Okay.
So where would those be? I don't know.
Okay. Let me go inside and talk to them.
Okay.
Notify them of...
And you know, I'll give you the law. I've got the filed documents. I've got the case file. I'll tell you everything.
Okay.
But allowing them to lock me out of that office, if I want to just sit in there until 5 o'clock, I'm entitled to do that.
Okay.
So let's talk about access. I'll wait out here so I don't cause any trouble, okay?
Right. Thank you.
Thank you. What is your name?
Officer Salvis, ma'am.
I'm sorry?
Officer Salvis,
Salvis, and what is your badge number?
17694.
Thank you, sir. You did a great job.
Thank you.
Do you mind if I get all your names and badge numbers so I know who's on the call?
Yes, I will provide you that, okay? Let me talk to my partner. Before I leave here, you will get that.
Okay, thank you very much. Sir, what about you? Are you a detective?
No, I'm not. But it will all be on the incident number. So
Okay.
We'll give you a business card once we leave, and once we figure out the other side.
Okay. And I'm going to need to know that gentleman's name because he's the one that called the police.
Velvet here. They came into the building, asked for Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith isn't here. No one in his staff is here. I told him nobody's here.
You want to talk to me inside? Right here. Just step inside, right here, inside as well.
We, of course, obtained the body cam footage of what police officers and Michael Smith's office staff and associates had to say that day, and we'll cover that more in our reporting later. But this is how we went about doing our work in order to obtain that body cam footage.
Did you get his name, birth date, and everything else?
Yes.
Was his name John Conway by any chance?
No, ma'am. That's not... We didn't speak to a John Conway.
Okay. You do know that the offices that are on these court papers, he signed, I have it, and we're going to have to go over that. But he says this is his place of business. And it's listed here.
Yeah, he does have an office within...
It's not listed anywhere, and he's not there.
Then maybe he breaks some rule that I do not know about.
Sir,
No, he didn't break a rule.
No, I'm not involved.
He's not involved. He's just a bystander.
Okay. You guys...
Thank you. Yeah, what was your name?
My name is Officer Stewart.
Stuart? And are you...
EWART.
EW. I'm glad you told me that because I get that wrong all the time.
And badge number 16379.
Thank you. I appreciate it very, very much. And probably I need to speak to somebody and do a report on over the phone or something because this isn't something that you guys are going to do on the street. I guarantee it.
Okay, sure.
So
We can give you
kick it up to-
We'll give you the... We'll talk to our supervisor. We'll
Investigations.
We'll explain to him what's going on.
Okay.
And he'll give us some direction.
Great.
on
Thank you.
how
I
we-
appreciate it. And by the way, you were one of my favorites today. Thank you. I appreciate it, you guys.